Silence. Hear me now. If I Harold Barrow could talk today, I got something to say. Why? Raise your flag, but open your eyes. If I Harold Barrow had to speak today, what I see would break my heart away. Nothing changed, just a mirror frame, same corruption, just a brand new name. My people, I'm sad to say, you reaping all you sow today. The pride and industry fade away, and now we fighting to find we way. Life at two extremes, I tell you so. Hope and hunger, high and low. Poverty mixing with champagne flow, but poor man still can't grow. Suffering and celebrating, starving while them still partaking. Nations rise, time to break that spell. Stop showing contempt for yourself. Change when thieves lead the way. Corruption sweet when give us pay, and government take what poor man lay. Taxation high like mountain peak, while schools and roads still spring a leak. Them flying high, them living sleek, but poor man vice still 2 weeks. So tell me now, who you blaming? Who make the system shaming? Them raise the dead, destroy the kin. No migration needs the pain. You be leaders like the clay, and now me are playing God today. Talking sweet but turn away from the people who make she laugh. Say alright, let we rise again, take back pride, build Barbados from inside. And I, Aaron, gone back to sleep again, Aaron. But I pray next time I wake, my people go rise, rise, I say. Bimshar still alive. Still alive, we just need to revive.
The statistics will follow, so that, as I said, I am willing to give commendation, but I will not hide my criticism behind diplomacy. I will not hide it. This country doesn't have any monarch. The monarch does as he or she pleases. Without giving a number for St. Michael, for Christchurch West, Christchurch East Central. I commended that minister for commitment to duty. Like East Central, though, I say that perhaps his commitment to duty has resulted in a local casualty, a constituency, but that is one of the hazards of the job. If you're busy in government and you're busy in the foreign capitals of the world, and I'm not criticizing that honorable member's travel, because a tourism minister must visit the home of his guests. And I will not be heard in here or anywhere to criticize the honorable Minister of Tourism for his expeditions. I think they're necessary. And in saying that they are necessary, the people of Barbados must now call upon the Prime Minister of this country to give account for excessive foreign travel at great expense to the people of this country. This is not any sacred ground. The people of Barbados are entitled to know what value the Prime Minister's travel has brought to the people of this country, and what value it has brought to this country. I'm not today going to deal with any other minister. The Prime Minister of this country must be called upon to answer for being out of this country every week and a half. That is not sacred ground. That is something we are entitled to know. And in the good old days of government, The Government Information Service used to give details every time a Prime Minister left. They even used to cover the swearing-in ceremony at the airport. But we have a country now in which a Prime Minister believes that she can saunter in and out of Barbados as if she's on a frolic of her own, whether it is some expressed ambition to work elsewhere. If you want to work elsewhere, go elsewhere and work. Go elsewhere and work, and I'm not being offensive. The time has come when the people in this country must demand the full attention of a Prime Minister to the affairs of this country. Must demand it. Must demand it. And I tell you, Your Honor, it is an offense to the people of this country when they elected a government, knowing that they were electing a primus inter pares, the first among equals, and that first among equals has not had the respect for this country to spend 2 straight weeks here. 2. It has become, look, this is the first epidemic since COVID, an epidemic of prime ministerial travel, and I am not afraid to say that. This Prime Minister has to spend some time here, and not only spend some time here, but spend some time here working. And if the Honorable Minister of Tourism is working here and overseas, the Prime Minister has to do the same. Follow that example. Follow that example, and that is something that the people out there are whispering about. Well, I'm not going to whisper about it in here. I'm not going to whisper about it in here. It must become a matter of national concern. This dereliction of duty. And Your Honor, look, I can tell you now the purpose of some of the trips. I can tell you now, sir, the purpose of some of the trips. Look, don't get me vexed here. I am going to tell the purpose of some of the trips. And look, the purpose of a lot of those trips has nothing to do with Barbados' political, social, or economic development. A personal ambition. A personal ambition with money spent. Taxpayers' money spent.
Mr. Speaker, honestly, I cannot say a point of order. Clearly, the honourable member has been a member of this House for a long time, and he's well aware that he stands in order to speak very clearly to imputing improper motives on another member. And I clearly think, I was listening very, very carefully, and at one point it was close, but I do think now he has crossed over and is imputing improper motives on another member. And I was asked that this comment be withdrawn.
I am asking this government, in the person of the Honorable Prime Minister, to bring to the people of Barbados disclosure as to the purpose of every trip and the global cost of those many trips. That is not to impute improper motives. That is to ask a Prime Minister to give account to the people of this country. Are we under the rule of a monarch that is entitled to act out of a discretion while you're doing it on the taxpayers' time and money? Well, look at your phones and look at your WhatsApps. Look at your phones and look at your WhatsApps. Don't defend anyone by instruction. Let them come and defend themselves. Let them come and defend. They're in Barbados though. Let them come and defend themselves. WhatsApp's going like crazy. Let me press on, sir, and give the assurance to the Honourable Member for Christchurch West that there is no intention to disparage anyone or to impute improper motives, but I am stating a fact. I am stating a fact relating itself to the misallocation of public resources that are committed to travel, foreign travel. And every Barbadian has been saying over the last 7 years of famine that there's an epidemic of prime ministerial travel, what has it done for us lately? Give us the cost. Give us the regularity. Give us the destination. Give us the cause and the purpose. We don't have any monarch in this country that is entitled to immunity from disclosure in relation to public funds and in relation to dereliction of duty from a public responsibility to behave and to act like a prime minister of this country.
I want to get
Please
on a point
continue
of
as it relates to the matter.
Yes. I am back to the matters raised by the Honourable Member for Christchurch East Central. 17 quarters of continuous growth thanks to the Honourable Member for St. Michael West Central. And I can eyeball him, and I can look at him, and I can commend him. It appears to me that tourism is rebounding in this country. I don't come in here to lie to anybody, and I ain't coming in here looking for no friends. I come in here with a commitment to truth. And if the gentleman deserves commendation for hard work, he will hear it from me. And by the same token, I will say that posing off, compared to his performance as tourism minister, posing off as some international celebrity brings no value to this country. Brings no value to this country. Let me press on, sir. It is a misallocation of public resources. But of course, I say to the Honourable Member for St. Michael West Central, what may appear to be success will ultimately be judged by statistics. And I am sure the Honourable Member for St. Michael West Central will bring those statistics when they become available. But I have been myself, by casual observation, as a person deeply invested in this country's economic success. That casual observation has told me that it seems as if we have not had an entirely bad start to the season. That is casual observation. The statistics will follow. So that, as I said, I am willing to give commendation. But I will not hide my criticism behind diplomacy. I will not hide it. This country doesn't have any monarch. The monarch does as he or she pleases without giving account.
Please.
I'm going on, sir. I'm going on. I am entitled. I
know what you're entitled as you relate to relevance. Please.
Yes. I'm entitled to metaphor. All the tools of language.
I understand all this. Then please continue as you relates to the debate, please.
Yes. Metaphor.
Good evening, DLP TV, and thank you for joining us this evening again for another session with some very reputable young men to my right. You would have seen a video of Comrade Leader prosecuting this government for its failures. And to be honest, I want to say something before I go forward. Comrade, you're doing a great job. Even though we see that there is a sense of biasness coming from these people. When these individuals in the House, when they're interrupting you, he does not hold them to account. But every time you come and you try to bring the people's business to the floor, he seems to engage in what I call these maligning tactics to distract you. But we see. I want to say good evening. We'd be remiss of me not to mention the people in the wider diaspora. I also want to thank you as well because I get your messages and your encouragement. And I thank you so much for it. I appreciate it. So tonight, as Comrade Leader would have said, tonight is for the youth. And our topic is, the youth have something to say, let us listen. And Thursday will be for the more seasoned audience, those individuals who, I guess, aren't so close to being young, but they're a boat that you can call them seasoned. So to my right, we have a very, very, how should I say, well-established and professional young panel. A panel that I've done many a show with, and I'm very proud to be next to them again. So, Mr. Ramon Goodman, it's good to see you here tonight. Candidate for St. Andrew. How are you, sir?
I bless up all the time, man. I'm good to go. Good night to the supporters. Good night to the viewers. Good night to the fantastic people of the St. Andrew constituency. Bless up.
To Ramon's right, new guest on DLP TV, Ronaldo Almond, aka DJ A.O.N Songs, more affectionately known as Biggest amongst his friends and peers. He is a cybersecurity analyst, and we welcome him here tonight on DLP TV. Welcome, Biggest.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Happy to be here.
And to his right, no, a man that does not need any introduction, especially an introduction from me, Mr. Rowe, candidate for the city of Bridgetown, a man who's always in some form of philanthropic work in the city, and he's well known for. Like, what is coming up next is the
Christmas toy drive.
Christmas toy drive.
Correct, correct.
Last year,
yeah.
and it was a success. And
Yeah.
we're gonna join you again this year and make it even bigger.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Yes, Damien, last year we did 300 toys. So this AM, we are aiming for 500 toys. So far, we received some toys already. And things is coming together really nice. You know, all thanks to the creator. So give thanks to him.
Right. Only man for the city. Only man for the city. And to his right, another gentleman that doesn't really need any introduction, Jamal Sandiford, aka the Joan Killer, candidate for St. Michael Northeast. Welcome, Jamal.
Good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right. So, gentlemen, you know as Tuesdays is set aside for the youth, right? And we always try to bring a guest or somebody new onto the panel. Ronaldo, we have only just met tonight, but I've heard so much about you. Please tell us about your background. How did you get into music, and then by extension, cybersecurity?
It pretty easy. As a child, I was always interested in the music that I hear passing in vans that are, because I live pretty far road. And my uncle at that time was very deep into free jam and dub culture. So at a young age, which he really shouldn't have been doing back then, at the age of 12, 13, 14, let me tag along late nights when I should be sleeping, getting ready to go to school, going to things that I shouldn't have been going to. But it definitely influenced me to be a DJ, because the command of the crowd, the confidence that manager exude, them sort of things is what I enamored of the child. And that's what made me lean towards DJing. But the deciding factor of being a DJ is a night in Club Millennium. Again, a spot that should be in at that age, but I can never tell you the age. Mataron versus the best of Barbados. And at that time, the best of Barbados was John Doe, Bard, Peter Copping, Super T, 4C. And he picked them off one by one in a row.
This is my fault.
Yeah. And from there, I tell myself, yeah, this is the way you want to do. Yeah, basically. The cybersecurity part now is, I just get tired of seeing them home and seeing so much people getting hacked off of social media. Like small hacks too, like Instagram hacks. Or people in the neighborhood losing like information, bank accounts, them sort of things. And how the world leaning more to AI and tech. So why not jump in as early as you could jump in and not wait for, because I find in Barbados we always play catch up. So I'd rather play mustard. To be honest. If I'm being real, I'd rather play mustard. So if I see something, an opportunity like to get my foot in the door early, I can take it. So that's why cybersecurity come about in a nutshell.
So, do you have your own business or you're an entrepreneur, or do you work for a firm?
Well, yeah, I work for a firm currently, firm named Protector.
Okay.
But DJing now is entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. How long have you been doing the DJ scene? How long have you been doing it?
Professionally, since I was 18, let's see, let me see, 17 years now, give or take. Yeah.
Gentlemen, as you well know, this is a topic that we've not spoken about in regards to why they're feeling unheard. So, gentlemen, I'm gonna throw it out to you now. Just starting you now. Why do you think that this government continues to not hear the youth when it comes to their social policy and planning and economic planning?
I think it's for numerous reasons, Damien. Numerous reasons. We have to first acknowledge that the youth feel that they're not being heard because, I mean, there's the bias, you know, being young. A lot of people say when you're young, you got some of the big people things, and some older seasoned people also believe that when you reach a certain age as well, that you know you feel that you're not gonna develop. You see a star picture. It's certain star terms that get people to think that. In other words, you're young, you still got a lot to learn, you still got a lot to do, right? To accomplish before somebody can trust you. But I think when it comes to government, I even want to get into ideologies yet, but there's a certain thing that they're doing that causes the youth to think that their voice is weightless. We know there's play Santa Claus every election. And that's the best way to phrase it. So in other words, do you feel like it doesn't make a difference saying anything if the same thing is happening over and over and over? And that's why it needs to be us to come and break that chain, come and break that cycle, come and get people to realize that their voice does matter, you know, and that you do have a say, and it's on your vote that people get into their seat, right? And if you do not vote, then whatever happens will be on you. You are continue to allow them to be in their seat, and that's what's going to happen. But I think it does it. You know, a lot of youth do not feel like their words mean anything because the government's continue to do the same thing over and over. Come, hand off no money on the day, and it's a vicious cycle. And it rinse and repeat all the time. It's a vicious cycle all the time. So that's what I would say. A lot of it is.
I think we're really into silly season now because it seems like this government they've ramped up their efforts to, I guess, implement policy at the last minute. Policy that they would have promised 7 years ago. But yet, now we're seeing them trying to I guess, hustle these things through the door.
It's true.
Dale, why do you think that we, the youth, are still being unheard? Even though this government seems to be putting a lot out there in regards to social policy, but it doesn't seem to relate to our young people. Why do you think that we continue to not hear our youth in this country?
First off, the Barbados Labour Party, they're not in connection. They're not connected to the youth. Reason why I say this, every year since this government was in power, since the government was elected, every year since then, the crime rate has risen as it relates to the young men being murdered. Gun violence has risen as well. And it just shows me that each year the government speaks about educational reform. However, where is the reform as it relates to when you expel over 200 males every year? So over 200 males being expelled every year at the age of 14, 15. Where are we putting those young males? What are we telling those young males? We're telling them, well, you don't have a voice, we don't care, go swim, survive, find a way. Let your parents and your community deal with you, just find a way. So at 15, how can you get employment? You have 0 CXCs. How are you going to get gainful employment? So then now this is where the either the entrepreneur side would start, where some young males would then, venture off into entrepreneurship. And then on the flip side of the coin, you would then have a set of young men who refuse to work but would rather gamble, steal, and do the anything to get income. A lot of the young people face financial challenges. Every young person faces financial challenges because you just finish school, either you move on to college. If you don't move on to college, you're looking for employment or you started entrepreneurship. And it is very difficult because Students leave UWI with a high university loan. They have to pay back. Then you have persons with no CXCs that can't get employment. They then, get recruited by the community leader. And what are we saying to our young people? Because the ones that have the qualifications have to then struggle to pay back the loan whilst trying to find employment. But then when we look at certain positions, although you have these qualifications, you still can't get those jobs. Because I can remember we spoke, I think, about four or 5 weeks ago, right here, about my experience being qualified as a level 2 wine sommelier. And we have level 2 wine sommeliers in Barbados and level 3 wine sommeliers in Barbados. However, the company imported a level 2 from Italy. However, we here in Barbados had to turn around and train this Italian sommelier. And now he is the food and beverage director. So we would then always have a brain drain from the students that have the qualifications because they're going to leave. And then the ones that don't have the relevant certificates to land employment, they're going to get involved in a life of crime. We are the community outreach programs. How can I gain a scholarship with my talent? Running, example. The only way I could gain anything from the government as it relates to athletics, I have to, get that gold medal. So how are we gonna, how this government developing avenues for success? I remember they said in the 2018 manifesto about putting a system in place where they will have officers in areas where young people congregate, school children. Where school children congregate, is it in the 2018 manifesto? Where school children congregate, they're going to put officers to help shuffle those children to school early and provide safe transportation.
Right.
And this is in the 2018 manifesto. But 7 years later, we have children congregating after 9 o'clock. So I would take a drive after I drop off my daughter to Sandiford. I would drive straight to Bridgetown, Black Rock. You will see by Carlton after 9 o'clock, tons of school children. Eagle Hall, tons of school children. Boxes Road, tons of school children. Warrens, tons of school children. Fairchild Street, Van Stand, tons of school children after 9. So the government said they're going to put a system in place to help that, but nothing ain't yet put in place yet. We still had the incident where the van overturned in St. Thomas. But if they had these things in place as opposed to just rhetoric, I think the young people there will have a better sense. So, I can build a future here. It is hard for any young person who want to build a future. I know young people. I know a young guy. I met a young guy at our youth rally, Savvy. He's working. And he works 4 days a week. He makes enough money to pay rent. Just rent. Because his rent is $275 a week. Working 4 days, you're working 32 hours. That ain't the money. How this young guy is eating and drinking. For less more, bus fare. The young guy showed me? The young guy said they gotta sell drugs. To make ends meet. So this is what young people are this is the challenge young people are faced with. Either they are educated, they're still faced with the same challenges. If they're not educated, they're still faced with the same struggle. But the government don't seem to care.
Biggest,
Yes, sir.
as a young person yourself,
Uh-huh.
are you seeing the struggles of the young people, and what is your opinion in regards to them being heard, in regards to how this country is going, shaping social policy?
As a young person, I going through the struggles, so I know firsthand. And I think it's a generational thing. The older generation like a lot of gatekeeping, because in their mind, why would I teach you to replace me? But at the end of the day, you can still get replaced. One way or next, you can get replaced. Either that, you can get replaced because you're too old to work,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody can come along but you the same age, but just better at job. So either way, you get keeping for nonsense to me. Another thing the older generation like is they don't want. If you don't struggle how them struggle, it's a problem. So you don't spend a day in the sun, you're working. You don't spend at work, you're working, which is ludicrous to me. Because whether you pouring concrete or you sitting on the office, work. Mental fatigue is still fatigue. Brain drain is still a thing. Stress, all the things is add up. Stress is leads to strokes as well as working in concrete in the hot sun. So I don't see the, but it's a generational thing. But hopefully, we getting older, break that curse. I try to give as much information as I could to people. A young person approached me Saturday night about DJing. I gave him all the information I could have possibly give at that time. I give him like a G account, tell him when he get home and he still want more information, more questions. Shoot me a DM. I probably ain't gonna respond at the same time, but you can get a response from me. 19 other thing you get a response from me. And don't be frightened. Don't be frightened to double message me because sometimes you too much DMs, sponsorships, emails, you too much things and work, day job work. So don't be frightened to shoot messages. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The most you could get is a yes and a no. There's the message to the young people. The most you could get is yes or no. If you ask 10 people and you get one yes, that's the yes that you need. Don't worry about the 9 no's. The 9 no's is just the obstacle, the hurdle. Don't worry about the no's. Focus on the yes. So if you got to ask 100 questions out there to get one yes, focus on the yes.
That's that skill, man.
Ramon, questions that when you hear in the constituency, what are you hearing from the young people, and what do you think they feel on it?
Well, first, let me digress a little bit. And just let me say, biggest a little disappointed that you never taught me the ropes as well. As you would try to teach the young man. Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed.
I can get a chance to combat that.
Of course, go ahead.
You are hard headed as my friend.
Whoa! Whoa!
So the questions that you gonna ask me, I got a one-on-one day-long session with you.
Wow.
Month long.
You know what?
So when you're ready and you have the time, sure.
I'm sorry I asked that question.
I know.
No,
I know.
we're in front of all of our viewers.
I know.
Shame.
I know.
But before I go to my constituency, right? Let me just be broad, a little bit broader, and let me talk about Barbados as a whole. Right? Where are the town halls? Where the youth? You go into different constituency. You invite the young people from 18 to 35 and just listen to the young people. Listen to what they have to say. Where are the invitations? That's the question. Right? So if you're talking about being serious, that is one of the initiatives that you can look at. Right? That is one of the initiatives. Now, we hear talks about the Barbados Labour Party being for the young people. But I believe that notion is based on these facts and so forth because they're thinking that is all the young people are about. You know, that's what they're thinking about. That's what they're saying. That's saying, you know what? Let me give them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going out and enjoying yourself, right? But there must be balance. And remember, every time I come on this show, I talk about balance. I talk about balance every single time, right? So we talk about invitations for town hall meetings. We talk about invitations for town hall meetings. You know, we're talking about serious listening and conversation between the representatives and the young people of the constituency. And the same way you had the gathering from January to November in each parish, you can have constructive conversation with the young people of the constituencies. Now I'll go to the constituency that I'm a candidate on, the St. Andrew, the fantastic St. Andrew constituency. Let me go there. Now I met a young man in the constituency, and he was talking about, building a business You know, he had some ideas and so forth. And he showed me some messages in which he would have reached out to the representative regarding trying to find out how you go about building your business, how you go about in terms of funding and so forth. And he showed me a whole set of messages that he would have sent for it. Guess how much replies he would have received? Thank you. No, nothing. You know? So this fallacy of the Barbados Labour Party being the party of the young people, I rubbish that. We are heard in this party. We are heard in the Democratic Labour Party. Young people are heard in the Democratic Labour Party. And I just want to make that extremely and abundantly clear.
So I want to switch focus now to job opportunities. We would have seen recently that this government is implementing a fund, a diversification fund that's going to be accessed by outside companies and corporations who want to invest in Barbados. But my question is really and truly, where is the investment in the people here, in the young people here? But I think that such a fund would more benefit young people, as last week we would have even have spoken about providing loans with no collateral, low interest.
Yeah.
You know, something like a grant along the ways that these young people can at least access something in regards to seeking entrepreneurship.
Of course.
So, Jamal, why are the job opportunities here in Barbados seems to be non-existent for our youth?
Well, first off, before I answer that specific question, I want you to do me a big favor.
Sir.
I'm pretty sure we have some young viewers watching. When you not mention the fund, give a little bit more explanation about what the fund is so that they could be aware. Because there's a lot of political jargon being tossed around when Madam Prime Minister speaks of it.
True.
And everybody doesn't catch the jargon because they're not all political analysts. So give them the opportunity to understand what they're referring to, and then they can answer your question.
Okay, so the fund is basically like a drawn-on fund where that they're going to take at least $75 million over 3 years, totaling $225 million from our taxpayer money, and put it in a fund that basically is supposed to be outreach for investment into, I guess, other international countries and those types of corporations who are interested in investing here
In Barbados.
Now, the criticisms of it really is that there's no criteria, really. There's no criteria. There's basically no focus or no direction. The fund is just a fund for outside sources to just access. And the Prime Minister says that it's going to create job opportunities here, right, in Barbados. But how? How does it create job opportunities here? Because this is my criticism of it. You want to get people to invest in Barbados, access this money so they can invest in Barbados, right? But you do not have the infrastructure here for whatever investment you're looking for other than tourism. So my thing is that why are you going to ask people to come here to invest, stay in AI? Do we have an adequate AI infrastructure for people who want to come here?
Not that we can see. Let me say that.
Not that we can see. So basically, then you're telling people to come here, right? And get them use their money to, I guess, build up the whatever sector they want from the ground up. Which doesn't necessarily mean that when they do build up the sector from the ground up that they hire their Barbadians.
That's true too.
They can hire from the outside and come in, and we see that all the time.
It's currently happening.
We see that all the time. So we allow people to invest in Barbados, build up the sector how they want, and then they get to gatekeep. They get to come and bring in the personnel that they want, set the rules and the regulations that they want, and then Barbadians are left out in the lurch. So my question is that how does this benefit young people when you're not basically setting the infrastructure yourself and then inviting people to come and help them build on it, but you're setting people up so that they can build the infrastructure and gatekeep themselves? How does that benefit young people?
I'm glad you said it now, dear Damien. So that the people that younger people to say could get a good grasp on what this fund is and how it actually impacts people. Now, what you're essentially saying is this. You're allowing people from the Caribbean and abroad to come to Barbados and have a little setup so that they could be able to function a business through Barbadians, right? And that is perfectly fine if if it wasn't a situation where we are deprived of opportunities right now.
All right.
We have situations where, as I said many times, because they're seeing to use tourism as the engine
For everything.
for the
Everything.
country to get revenue, right?
I suppose that tourism is our gas that we pay for.
Well, if you look long enough, you might see that that's actually a factor. Who knows? So the situation I'm looking at is this. We already established that there's 3-month contracts going on now. So people don't have job security. We already established that the main times that there's a higher scale of employment is around tourism time. Which meaning, in other words, from June, July, August, and then a little bit now in November, December, you can get a peak or a rise in employment, especially when young individuals are concerned. Now, you're going to tell me that there's no other way that these bright minds could find to employ young people? You're trying to tell me that there's no way that we could find a way to use agriculture, since we have so much land that they could feel free to give it away in some cases, sell parts of it in others, that you can't find a way to help young people be able to get a piece of the rock somehow. I have ideas. I don't want to put everything out here, right? But one thing we could look at is the diversification of real estate and the fractionalization of real estate. How hard would it be to create a situation or a system where the young people can take a little bit of their money and pay it down to actually have access to land, so that way, if you sell it, that they get a low revenue in return at a higher rate, for all we know. So there's so many different ways that you could actually help the young people. But you find that this government isn't necessarily about helping young people. As we know, they would show you a little fat. The Prime Minister just the other day at the end of Carrie Festa decided that she's going to throw X amount of $1,000 for when, somebody does a song, Why doesn't happen every day? Why that don't happen, unless it's NIFCA? So I'm just saying there's a lot of different areas and where young people could benefit from, but at the end of the day, we just realizing that they're all about getting outreach. Look at the infrastructure, Damien. Tourism. People coming from abroad, spending money here. You see any difference within this new fund? They encourage people to come from abroad, right back here. So you really have to ask yourself, is this ready to help people of Barbados or even the young individuals? I don't believe so. But I can stand corrected if anybody is willing to come and prove me wrong.
Daily want to throw the topic of entrepreneurship at you, right? Because you mentioned it earlier.
Wait, sorry, Damien, before you do that, I can comment on diversification fund.
Sure.
This is another policy, another bill, looking as though it is not for the ordinary Barbadian. Wants again. Now, the question remains, who's to say that when the foreign companies come into Barbados, that they stay in Barbados? We've seen many companies come into Barbados to set up. They are going to receive that money, those coins, and a lot of people, yes, people are employed, but then they leave the country, and you know what happens? Everything gets spread. We have seen time and time again, foreign companies come into Barbados, eat up all the food, and then they leave, right? We talk about trickle-down economics. It does not work.
It does not work.
Build from within.
Correct.
The same fund. Why can't we take that money and use the money where local startups are concerned? Small to medium-sized businesses. Why can't we do that? Why we have to start from foreign? And this is not me being xenophobic at all, but this is me catering and communicating on behalf of the ordinary small businessmen and the medium-sized businessmen in Barbados. That is the philosophy of the Democratic Labour Party. We start from within, we start with the ordinary person, and we continue to build out. Another question must remain as well too. The anti-money laundering, that legislation, who's to say that anti-money laundering, especially with the foreign companies, would not run rampant in the country? That is very important.
That's a very interesting.
And if anyone they don't know what anti-money laundering is the washing of money, taking illegal funds and taking it through a system in which it becomes legal. Through businesses, they got laundromats, they got various businesses in which it legitimizes the money, so to say. Who's to say that? A lot of companies come into the island, and that would have happened. It needs more guardrails. Another challenge as well too. The minister in which it does not mention, the bill does not mention the minister in which the conversations will go on with in regards to the company. Who would have that conversation? Which minister will have that conversation with the foreign companies? That's another question that must be asked. So many questions must be asked and many answers must be given. I am not comfortable with it at all.
Very good, Ramon, very good. To you, Dale, now. To you, Dale. Could this fund not have been, or could it not have been better utilized to help investment in Barbados, build the investment, homegrown investment, even more entrepreneurship opportunities for our young people?
Question, Damien. How much is the fund?
225 million.
225 million. So this fund is to empower foreign investors.
Or to try to diversify the foreign investment.
So my question, the reason why I asked that question, because when you look at entrepreneurship, we have so many brilliant minds in Barbados.
Yeah, very true.
We have so many brilliant entrepreneurs with great ideas that need funding. Financial institutions will not give them a loan if they don't have the relevant things in place. So you want to start a business, you need about 2 years.
Working experience.
No, you need 2 years financials.
Right.
So you have to open your business account, you got to send that money, you got to show 2 years. You also got to get the accountant to also assist you with that process. Then you got to present a solid loan, a solid business plan to the financial institution, and then you got to hope now that you qualify to get that loan. So when you look at entrepreneurship, a lot of young people, struggling. Certain persons, $5,000 is not enough to start a small business. $5,000 is just enough to buy stock. All depends on what you are doing. That is no investment. So this government, the Barbados Labour Party, never cared about the true development of our local people. The reason why I say this because if we can take that same, how much? 225 million. If we invest that home into entrepreneurs, every single cent that is spent will stay in this economy. Not 2%, not even 2% will be shit overseas as it relates to profit going foreign. All of that currency will stay. That then also increase employment, that can strengthen our economy, and it will give our young people a sense of hope. Because I can actually create a business. The government then can then put a proper system in place as it relates to entrepreneurship. Provide the accountants, provide proper funding, provide proper loans, and also help them during that process of building the business. Because you can't start a business and then expect to make 500,000 in 1 year. You need consistent re-injection into the business. You got to re-inject and re-inject and re-inject. So who's helping all of these young entrepreneurs? You get me? Are there any free courses as it relates to management? Any free courses as it relates to the functions of getting your business up and going? In COVID, I remember that the government would have said something in COVID as it relates to all the persons could come and get, I think it was a $700 if you had a shot. And then based on the other business you would get, I think it was $1,400. So then it put a lot of entrepreneurs in a position that they know how to go and register businesses. So there are a lot of people, because the persons wanted that fund in COVID. So the government, never really showed interest in our local economy. Local economy is empowering our people.
Yeah.
They want to focus on tourism, but the real positions, the locals don't get it.
I can ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You raised real good points. I got it. When you said entrepreneurs need a business plan, the accountant, the 2 years, all that. Do you don't think that's a good idea? You don't think that if you are a young entrepreneur and starting a business, you're gonna wait to sit down and catch it in your lap, or you can use the resources and Google these things and find out what you need to know? Because you can't just sit down and wait for it to happen.
For sure.
Correct.
That's what we learn from a very young age.
Correct.
And you talk about free courses, they are. It just ain't front page news, or which it should be, but it isn't. But it did. Because you take one at least twice a week just to got information to have. Because you never know. So but security might crumble tomorrow.
Correct.
But this is my thing, right? This is me. As somebody who would have needed a loan sometime back I wanted to start up my own practice, right? But eventually I landed somewhere. I landed by someone I call my uncle. I'm not gonna call this name, but I landed somewhere and I'm prospering somewhat now. But I can tell you how difficult it is to present finances for a loan. It's basically saying that you have to have your business up and running, right, before you can get your loan. Basically, you have to have your business up and running. So if you're someone who wants to start a business off the bat and you don't have the capital to start it, it's going to be very difficult to produce financials. Because most of these banks or these lending institutions, they don't want financials. Yes, maybe a business plan. You could probably lean on one of your more academically inclined friends, or you could probably reach out to somebody that you know. But in the same sense, there's some people who offer the business plan service, but it's at a price as well. So if you don't have a friend who can do a business plan for you, then or you are left to your own devices to come up with your own business plan.
Yeah.
And then if you're not as au fait as as other persons who are with the structure of how a business plan is, and you bring a business plan before somebody, it might be scrutinized a little bit. It will be scrutinized because this is people lending up their money to you.
Correct.
And already you have to pay it back at interest.
Correct.
And they're also looking to see now if you have any collateral now. So then now if you're living at your mother's house, you understand me? You don't own a bed, you don't own a bicycle, you don't even own the microwave that you just warm the food on. You get me? You basically just own whatever skill course that you may have come out of school with, maybe your CXC and the clothes on your back, which somebody still had to buy for you anyhow because more than likely is dependent in somebody, right? So you have no collateral. So it's not as easy as it looks, because I would have been someone who was studying and applying for jobs. Try to start a business. I registered a business, Finis First Sporting Solutions. Never went anywhere.
Will you say name again?
Finis First Sporting Solutions.
Sporting?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because I was heavy into sports back then. I was really heavy into sports. I have my associate degree. I tell myself I got a master's. I want to provide consultations to hotels about. I was trying myself to diversify the economy. Listen, you have a sport and recreational department. We could take recreational sport and tourism into the next level. I believe this is where we're going, right? This is where we're going. We want to jump ahead and offer that service.
Wow.
I didn't get a call back. I do my own pamphlets. I mock up a little something in Word and save it in PDF, send it out to people, my contacts, my services, my education, everything like that there.
Wow.
And I didn't get anything. So then I tried to get a loan. I tried to get a loan to see if I could probably rent a space. Space at that time was $1,500 a month. You got to pay that up front, right? So if you get a $5,000 loan, that's $1,500 gone already. Need a laptop, need printing. You understand me? Need printing, need Wi-Fi,
Need marketing.
I
have to get a business account. $1,000.
Yeah.
All right, I can ask you a question too. If you were a multimillionaire and a man come off the street with just any cockamamie idea, you would give you money?
No, but I get you. I say
Right. So as young entrepreneurs, is a process. That's why I believe that people should be taught the process
From the beginning, like
from
say,
the start,
so we
or
start grassroots.
go and ask somebody. Again, back to asking questions. Asking questions is how you figure out things.
Correct.
You see them, business plans, pamphlets, with things that you need for start it from ground up. The information out there for you to get. Ain't hard to get either. It's free. You see how you didn't know how to type out your business plan, you do it in Word and save it in PDF. There are free sites that you could fill in information and they can give you a well thought out produced business plan. All you gotta do is Control C, copy, Control P, paste. And you good. AI, you see AI does it now. Stop telling AI what you will get your girlfriend for X months. And ask it questions like, how can I better my CV? How can I have this business? I want to sell hot dogs. What do I need? What my business plan gonna look like? Who do I need to reach out to? All them things easy. It right there. Ain't hard. People try to make it hard because they want people to come and tell them willy-nilly. I got the information. I don't know that you don't have the information because I don't know you. So if you want to sell hot dogs, they got 10 people that want to sell hot dogs. 10 people want to sell hot dogs. And I got 5 hot dog vendors in Barbados right now. You want to try to reach out to one of them? Or sit down and Google about hot dogs. If you Google about hot dogs, the information can come. It can take time. And what you find about the younger generation is very fast paced. It got to happen today. And it can't happen today because businesses don't build overnight. You guys got to do your research. It's going to be hard. Everything in life that good is be hard. And people that struggle to get rid of this ain't going to make it so easy on you. Because they already think that our generation quite easy because everything at the tip of your fingers. From smartphones, laptops, iPads, whatever. Back then, they had to read the newspaper to get news. It's broadcast on my phone every morning before it fail. It didn't go set. So the older generation done that set. Plus two, the older generation is from slavery. Farmer. So don't rely on them if you are a young entrepreneur, you want to be a young entrepreneur. Get your information. Try hard. Ask questions.
So let me throw another question.
Sure.
Let me throw a question.
You want to that question, I just want to piggyback on what Biggest is saying. And I agree. Having adequate documentation, even though you are a small business person, that is extremely important to young people. I can tell you that. Let me just say that in terms of marketing and getting those tools that you start to build the business, I think more marketing must be done. As Biggest said, you have to ask questions discreetly. That information is not there, right? So that more work needs to be done where that is concerned. Now, I can tell you a little story. As I worked in an insurance company, the name's called obviously, and one of our insureds would have struck a snow cone card, and the young owner of the snow cone card, they would have brought in some documents. Obviously, you had a little paper here saying $2,000, a little paper there saying $1,000. And it was questioned because the documentation obviously wasn't well laid out. In terms of they had everything all over the place. So what they were looking as the snow cone cart was off the road, they were looking for something called loss of income. Right? That's the amount obviously that they would have lost whilst the snow cone cart was off the road. Right. And it was huge contention because there weren't any proper documents presented to the insurance company. So it is extremely important, young small business owners, young small to medium sized business owners, you need to make sure that all your ducks in a row, especially in a circumstance where you would have been involved in a situation or accident or incident, and your snow cone cart or whatever small business becomes unavailable for making money. It is important to have your documentation and all your ducks in a row. And I totally agree with Biggest. that investor, because you can find yourself in some trouble if you cannot prove your loss of earnings when you go to financial institutions. And obviously Dale would know, I know that Biggest would know, and Jamal would know as well.
You want to add something there?
I just want to add that, as a leader, as leaders,
Yeah.
we need to implement systems. We need to implement things that empower our people.
Correct.
So the implementation of entrepreneurship should start in secondary school. So all of this information, all of this data, we should be doing, 1 period or 2 period as it relates to entrepreneurship. Right. The finance aspect, you get me? So principle of business is okay, right. But we need entrepreneurship. We need to actually, have a 2 period, 1 period, 2 periods as it relates to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th year. Implement that entrepreneurship to help them get a sense of becoming CEOs, not just a small business. Get me? Let them treat their business as a multi-billion-dollar company. So we have to instill it from young. We have to start with young clients. So that's my vision for a government that cares for people, not just telling young entrepreneurs find the information, and then when you find the information, how are you going to get funding? But how is it easy for outsiders to get funding, and it's hard for our own people to get funding?
Well
That's
said.
backward behavior.
Yeah, well said.
And I sound like a state record. He would Biggest would know what a state record what a state record is about.
Please.
But the reality of it is that I keep saying on this show that the Barbados Labour Party government is a give a man a fish government. You feed him for 1 day. The Barbados Labour Party led government is that type of government. You should teach a man how to fish. It is very important. Like, I continue to echo that, because it's serious business. It's serious business. Yes, we ha hee sometimes on the show, but this statement is very serious. Very, very, very serious.
So okay. So has this topic been well ventilated, or do we want to move on to something?
Hey, yes, buddy.
Oh, I just want to add one thing in terms of what you said about managerial courses. There's a website called Coursera.
Course what?
Coursera. Course. ERA.
Oh, Coursera. Okay.
Almost any and everything.
Almost any everything.
Free courses on any and everything. Managerial, ERA, whatever you think you should know. You ain't even got to be tech savvy wise. Things that information, courses, free, that website.
The question is Barbadian based?
No. But it did.
Yeah.
And that's what it's used on a weekly basis, because I like information. I like to know.
Well said.
So if I got free time, most of the time it'd be at night. Pick up a course.
Mm-hmm.
And young people, I want to encourage you to have a thirst and a hunger for learning. Continue to learn. You never stop learning, young people. Continue to learn. Continue to learn. As he mentioned, the course is there, available and ready. You just need your eyes and obviously your reading skills, and you are good to go. But have that thirst and hunger for learning. That is extremely important, young people.
This is my thing, right? And I take the points into consideration, right? I take the points into consideration of what you said here, gentlemen, is very true, right? But this is how I look at it, because I tend to look at an individual who may have came out of school and isn't tech savvy, who may have came out of school and they can't read properly or they can't write properly, right? Because then we are telling people, no, access this course online, access this, that captures 1% or a basic percentage of the population.
I can't agree, because the same person that you say can't read or write could post a WhatsApp or Instagram status every morning before fail.
It's true.
and that's tech savvy.
It's true, right? There's certain. I'm not saying that people don't have a basic working knowledge of technology, maybe a phone or what's not. But I've come across individuals who really need help from the ground up.
Yes.
They want
Yes.
to.
Yes.
They want to
Yes.
start a business because they know they can't get a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't have the qualifications to get a job, so they have to rely on skills or they have to rely on a service that they're providing, right? And they come and they tell me, "Sir, I need a business plan." Right? I, as an attorney at law, I get people coming and telling me, I want to set up a business. I need a business plan. I want to know if you offer all these things, right? You know, and you basically you don't probe too much. You don't want to probe too much into the background, the educational background or what's not. But as somebody that because I interview people for a living. When I take in my instructions. In my consultations, I ask questions. I probe and I could make 1 and 1 plus 2 and figure out certain things for myself. And some people just are struggling, right? They're struggling, and they might have come across a little $500 that the mother get him and tell her, "Well, listen, you want to do this? Then invest in that."
Wow.
And the first thing that comes to us, I want to talk to a lawyer. "Sir, how much is your services? I want to start a business. I believe I could get this off the ground." You know what I mean? I advise them to the best way that I could. You know what I mean? Say if they could access grants instead of loans.
Makes sense.
And you'll find that some individuals, they really, really do need help, right? And it's one thing to say, yes, you can do it online. There's access, but there are some people who do not know how to access.
If it's true, because I want to be honest, just for a second, right? Some of the things that you're referring to, Damien, like for example, the access to grants, that is a thing. But you know how much red tape is going to go through to actually get to some of these grants. Sometimes the different things, like even for loans, you got the whole 100 yards to be able to have collateral, to be able to have all the different things as requirements to get the actual loan. You have to put down money. You got I think it's 10% depending upon which loan you're trying to get.
Yeah.
So it's a similar thing without the request though of money, but with grants. So you got to be registered as a whatever. Let me say it's a cultural practitioner. Go on in life. So this is information that is out there, as Biggest mentioned as well. But how many people are aware of it? How many people have the chance or the access to this information?
But not just aware of it. There's some people who just, as you said, connect the dots. Some people just cannot connect the dots.
Correct.
They might have a working knowledge of maths, you understand me? And how to speak proper English.
Right.
That is it. They just know how to add and subtract. Like, okay, this costs $6 and you give me 10, that's $4.
Yeah.
And that's as far as it goes. So my thing is
good.
My thing is with this government, and we ain't trying to attack anybody or any social policy here tonight, right? My thing is that do we understand that there are some individuals that they want, right? They want to get into entrepreneurship, but because of of maybe a learning disability, or maybe they're on the spectrum, or maybe there's certain disabilities that even if they had access, maybe they can't see properly.
I see, on the
So you gotta listen to them. They gotta listen to you, and then you have to do everything for them.
I see.
And so there are people out there who really, really need help, and they want to know if this government is listening. If this government is listening to the realities on the ground, because it's one thing to say yes, we try to attract international investment to bring jobs here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me stop. I ain't exactly politically tied. What I want the next government in power to do is stop treating traditional jobs as the be all and end all.
I can get on board with that.
Entrepreneurs, content creators, graphic artists, DJs, entertainment, like man, anybody that ain't just doing a traditional 9 to 5.
Yeah.
There's potential to do that. But there's a lot of Asian content creators that have to seek outside investments or outside small or even outside brands. It's only recently that certain brands in the island start to use Asian content creators to reach out or to seem like they're in tune to the culture,
Mm.
which is a start,
Yeah, we
and
gotta
it's
do that
good.
for now.
But it's too late.
Yeah.
So what we want the next government in power to do, whichever one it is to start thinking that doctor, lawyer, bank manager is the job. Because a lot of we, myself included, never thought that that was what I wanted to be. I didn't want to be a policeman. I didn't want to be a fireman. I wanted to be a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be a DJ until I can't DJ no more.
Correct.
Simple. Cybersecurity is just a passion. And it just so happened to line up by get involved and seek the information and pursue it. But if DJing was profitable as I see overseas, because don't get it twisted, see, this is a rock that we live on. Best DJs, Puffy.
For sure. Yeah. And he just
Puffy.
won. Like,
And he just won.
Biggest.
I don't include me. Don't include me. Tap myself and the
But I
other
want to say no.
outer.
I want to say A.O.N sounds.
Well, thank you, but tap myself outer humbly.
Some best DJs.
The collective of young DJs, best in the region, probably best on the globe. In terms of juggling, selection, speech, crowd control. My parents put me down majority of the time when they're trying to make it. I had to make it on my own. I started bringing home money for my mother to tell me, yeah, all right, cool.
Gonna say as a hobby before you start bringing in change.
Not even a hobby, a distraction.
Oh, whoa. It was that bad for you?
Yeah, because they needed to be a lawyer or a doctor.
Oh.
Well, biggest start me here now. Because I'm always an advocate for creators and the orange economy. That is one way that Barbados can diversify the economy through the orange economy. It's a big economy overseas.
And let me stop you. Even something simple as you ever went on a company's website and you try to search for a product, you can't find it, or you try to search on the website, don't work.
It's happened all the time.
These is multi-million-dollar companies. You try to tell me you can't hire somebody to manage your pitch.
Be careful because I call AI just now.
The thing is, you could program AI to do it, but let me say the person asks a question in dialect. I just work with AI every day. Struggle to understand it. I just work with AI. This is almost 3 years now, and my AI now starting to pick up on the language, but that's purpose because I try to talk as much pages as I could, so it will understand, pick it up.
Yeah, that's
right. So if you get AI to manage your page, it can take time.
Oh, you will.
So why not just hire somebody? And even when you hire the AI to do it, somebody still gonna monitor the AI because AI is fluff. Yeah. You will ask AI about a red pen, and it will give you multiple options about the same red pen. You want crimson pen, you want mahogany red pen, cherry red pen. You just want a red pen. The basic average person want a red pen.
Correct.
So unheard, people
or even a Reddit. Hey.
People that just lapse on certain things. There's so much businesses that use reach out to in a DM on Instagram, weeks to answer you. Boy, you want your thing today?
Yeah.
Guess hire somebody to be in the background. We got people home that can type 1,000 words a minute.
It is true.
Can't get no work because that market fed up. Clerk and assistant, data entry, all them fields oversaturated. Good. That same person with all that free time can answer all your emails, DMs, everything, even in small entrepreneurs. Because if you're a small entrepreneur, most times you got a day job. Because the day job got funny. The idea that you have. Good. Cool. Even people at home now, I want them to know that if you're good at data entry, assistant, clerk, or administrative, they're remote jobs that I want people. Latin America, Brazil, all them places. LinkedIn is your best friend. They got a whole list of places that just want people that got the free time home whole day, answer my emails, correct my, because we got some business owners that ain't articulate. They know what they want to say, but can't get into words. If I tell you something example, if I tell you something in pure Bajan, I can't type pure Bajan on an official document.
No way.
But that's how it starts, because you got the money, and this is my business.
Yeah.
No, I got to tell you, you understand pure Bajan.
Yeah.
But you also understand how to type it officially.
For sure.
Good. Hire that money, Simple.
We just we change the words or
Yeah,
alter
but
the words
people,
to set the
this
message.
traditional job thing has Barbados in a chokehold.
Mm-hmm.
Because a long time ago, the younger population realized that traditional jobs hard.
Mm-hmm.
Being a lawyer, years of studying.
Oh yeah.
Doctor, years of studying.
Yeah. 9 years and all something.
Who has that time?
I mean, everybody got your time, but are you willing to trade it?
Same thing
for
deals
that?
about the syllabus. When I was in school, I had a business. Remember the Empire where the fire station used to be?
Mm-hmm.
I had a business plan to make that into a 3-story club. The bottom floor would be rap, the middle floor would be dancehall, the top floor would be techno.
Young to know about that.
I don't care. You guys used to be outside.
Wow.
And they had ample parking because you could park behind where the market is.
Mm-hmm.
You could park on the corner where the beach is.
Mm.
And you could park out by the statue.
That's a central location.
Yeah, and then in town. So if you can't, you don't drive the bus station right there or the further one downtown. And my teacher at the time said this is a great idea. Just I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have the information to be like, all right, let me set this business plan. Go to where you need to go to. Again, information.
You still need finances too.
And you need finances.
Yeah.
If I had somebody to go to and somebody with financial marketing, that place would be the best club in Barbados right now.
Boy, I mean, they still there?
The same problem still happening. Don't got the financial marketing.
Well said.
And let me just say, there you have it. Being a creative, being in the entertainment industry, it's not easy. I've rolled with them many times, lots of fun. But when they get on set, it's business.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they can't even open the ice drop, because it is hard work. We need to take the creative industry seriously in Barbados. He would have just communicated the struggles and the challenges. We had some young men on the set a couple of weeks ago, I believe, regular, when some of the promoters would give the DJs a pat on the back.
Yeah,
that is the other problem too, because as young DJs, do not let promoters fool you into believing that exposure is your money. Because exposure cannot buy a grocery in Massey or pay a light at the light place.
Can't
but know your worth. It could be harder, but know it. And stop, younger DJs start undercutting. Do not charge 100 for a whole night, because that's ludicrous. Madness.
Look, crime is crime affecting all businesses.
Yeah.
True.
Because the same DJs, when they are booked for an event and the fight happen, they just spent $600 per some J's, $150 on a Levi jeans or jeans, and $300 on a shirt.
Yeah, I got a question for you. These young DJs don't know that Shane and them places, is this?
Yeah, but reality is
you can't be struggling and want top brand.
No.
You should be worried about laptop controller.
So we're missing the point. The reality is, if the DJs making the bookings and they can afford it,
right?
The point is
branding.
Crime. No, the point is crime.
Oh.
Crime is high, and as a result, crime is affecting business across the board. Nightlife, because they just can't get bookings on the night.
Parties.
In addition to that, when fights happen, all these shootings happen, we think that happen, the fets can get cancelled, crews can get cancelled, so DJs also going to be affected. For me, I'm not a DJ and it don't affect me. But however, crime affecting DJs, crime affecting bars, crime affecting restaurants, crime affecting, the PSVs, crime affecting every single one. In addition to that, hold for me. In addition to that, you get me? Crime, affecting every single person across the board, and the Barbados Labour Party is not doing anything about it. Every time, whole thing is the issue, and guys pulling triggers broad daylight, and it's young guys. So it goes back to the point when you said that young people need help. People need help. So when I did my evaluation and I was, I observed behaviors, and trauma is a contributing factor to some of these young people being expelled out of school. The struggle. After COVID, during COVID, the teachers then realized that the literacy level, have gotten worse. So the school still promoting you all the way up. Know that you have a reading disability or struggling with reading, the school promoting you and sending you out. So you think that happen? If they can't comprehend certain things, they have traumas, they have struggles, they have different issues. What do you think will happen when these young guys leave school? The government needs to focus not on one guidance counselor. Each year group need to have their own guidance counselor, because let's say 500 students in a school, it's 5 different year groups, and in each year group is 7 different classes. One guidance counselor can't manage all of those classes from 1st to 5th. You need one guidance counselor per year group, just like how you have a year head per year group. Guidance counselor then will then go in and realize that, you know what, these are the issues. Because look, when you leave primary school to go over to secondary school, there's no report as it relates to a handover. A report meaning, you know, this particular child had or have some issues in this area. Do a proper handover so that now when you enter first form, you're collecting more than just the medical history for the child. You're gonna collect you're collecting actual data on these children, and then you could then cater to the specific needs once you have that guidance counselor. Because the troubles at home affect these children, and then when you see a child behaving in a particular manner, you would then, you know, attribute it, he hard is or she hard is, but there's an underlying root cause. We have to deal with the root cause. What is the root cause for all of these killings that is happening right now? It is not tint. What is the root cause? We need to go back to the drawing board, look at the primary schools, do a serious evaluation, put counselors in place for each year group. Not one counselor for the entire school. Nonsense.
Yeah.
But then you can take 200 and how much? 225 million for foreign investment. But the real and true investment is our people. Our people. Because you know what? If our people don't go and get jobs in the hotel sector, which is the number 1 sector, can't bring in that revenue. The guests don't come to Barbados because we got tourist attraction. We ain't got nothing like, yo, look at the rest of the islands in the region and throughout the world. The people have things for tourists to do.
Mountains, hills, waterfalls.
Barbados has nothing but people. You know why? Because interacting with guests say that here on this small rock, we have the most, you know, generous, loving, caring people in the world.
Personality.
Tourists can leave the hotel or go on the streets and still feel safe to ask, biggest, give me some directions. Jamal, give me some directions. Tourists feel comfortable.
Even
You get me?
simple as catching the bus.
Yeah. So if our people is the number 1 tourist attraction, we need to invest in our people from primary school. Not wait till you know till the whole thing collapse. Because right now everything collapsing.
Yeah.
And let me just say, right, that you see the period between leaving primary school and going to secondary school, that is vital. There must be some level of intervention there, some serious camp, some serious counseling between primary school and secondary school. I remember my time, that period for me, the bigger children, they had looked like 8 feet tall, you know, when they went into secondary school.
Oh, you didn't midget? You didn't midget?
Well, you know,
Oh, I'm sorry.
they had looked like 8 feet tall. That doesn't mean that I wasn't 6 feet tall.
Oh, so you just a little bit.
But you're not. But you're not, Ramon.
So,
But you're not.
what I'm saying is, right? Let's refocus.
Sure.
What I'm saying is that it was very intimidating for me, right? And you know that plays with a young person's mind as well. So it was very intimidating. So we need
That is a good point.
some level, yeah, very intimidating.
Because
And
what's
it's a
happened
big
to Barbados culture
shock.
is, to me, a more throw you in the deep end, swim.
Of course, yeah,
You want to do something, go and learn it.
of course. Yeah.
My father was guilty of that. Very much tough love. Swim. You get drunk a couple times, you'll be alright.
You get drunk a couple of times.
Yeah, but
You ain't enjoying your part a couple
you're
times.
not going to die when you get started drown.
And after
Swim.
your third time, you can learn to swim.
Exactly.
You know that was saying that we got as in agriculture, you ain't dead.
You ain't dead. Get up and go again.
And you know, I'm glad that he mentioned that as well too, right? In regards to when a young person goes into a workplace, in terms of the training, as he mentioned, You know, it can compare it to somebody throwing you
In the deep end.
just in the deep end, throwing you off the boat and telling you to swim. In terms of the level of training and so forth, I think human resources, they need to look at serious training before the person goes
They'll mention
into
syllabus.
the job.
What schools need to add to their syllabus? Money management, account starting, CV writing,
How to do your taxes.
all that's money management, all of that financial literacy.
I think
Because you see, the
financial literacy sets it
first
up.
job I started with, the money to come in.
Yeah.
Like, and the money was spending.
Oh, yeah, no, sit no.
If I had the money that was coming, still,
uh,
I'd be so much better off. But you know what?
to manage your money.
Wait, and at the knowledge I have now at this age, and the money that I was making when I was 20 to 25, I would be way better off.
Yeah.
Come on, bring in the.
You see the Barbados Youth Service? The Barbados Youth Service have a fantastic template. And the Barbados Youth Service has shown a very high success ratio for all of the years in existence. What the Barbados Youth Service do? On the morning, physical training, mandatory.
Yeah.
After physical training, you are taught the life skills, swimming, garment making. You learn how to drill, the drills. You learn different things, not only English and math. CXCs are afforded to you. In addition to all of that, you can do boxing, cricket, hockey, name the sport, name the CXC. You get me? Songwriting, poetry. Youth Service have a fantastic template. But what makes it even better, Youth Service have 4 groups, and each group have an assigned counselor. And that assigned counselor have one-on-one with each individual student. The guys that were in my intake, about 90% of those guys are working right now. A lot of them went to the Youth Service as a delinquent, but some discipline, rising at 4 o'clock on the parade square, beating yourself, doing 100 push-ups,
No, that's like.
doing CXCs, that inspired and that put some kind of self-worth to the young people that go to the Barbados Youth Service. So the government need to do is to expand our template into the secondary schools. Add the financial literacy, because financial literacy goes more in depth as it relates to how you manage money, because money conversations are not spoken about in households. 99.9% of black households do not speak about the liability column and the asset column. So from a young age, you don't understand a liability and an asset. Because some persons would look at having a 9-to-5, getting a mortgage, living in that house is an asset. But that would not be considered an asset because you live in it and it's taken from you. Mortgage, taxes, light, water, repairs.
Liability.
That will fall under the category as a liability because it's taking income. But if you have a property and then you have it as Airbnb or a rental, that could then put in the asset column.
Or even capital.
You get me? That would be put in the asset column. So that's why we need to teach financial literacy from young. Or also money management. That need to be implemented. Also counseling. Counseling need to be implemented into the schools one-on-one sessions. And I guarantee you we can have a better outcome as it relates to the young people. That will give the young people more hope. Because persons were sent to Youth Service through Faith Marshall Harris in my district court. You get me? So when you go to the Barbados Youth Service, when you a lot of those guys, were charged for wandering. And I see these guys today, and these guys working. Either entrepreneurs, one guy doing music, one guy doing photography, other persons working different places. So the Barbados Youth Service have a very successful ratio. Implement some of that's a similar template into the school. And I guarantee you see a better success.
Well, I can tell you something now, right? You talked about the Barbados Youth Service, and they're gonna bring me to the Barbados Defense Force sports program. But before I go there, right? Why financial literacy is important from young, right? I remember my first job. I worked in town. One of my first jobs, right? I worked in town, and yes, just like the biggest, I was making money, but the food stalls or the food stores in town, they when I walk past them, they would hold me by my collar and drag me back in. And you know where the money would have gone. Because in regards to me investing and so forth, I was oblivious to it. So KFC would have received heavy investment from my pockets.
Girl, man.
Of course, you're making the money, you're making that money, and you're passing the food stalls. And they're calling your name, and sometimes they even holding your shirt collar and pulling you back. I felt the force of the.
You should have had a financial literate
Of
bodyguard,
course,
Momo.
of course, I felt those forces. I felt those forces.
A high percentage of entrepreneurs fall into the category of being extremely busy. So as an entrepreneur, you have to do everything yourself. So let's use a entrepreneur that start a food business, for example. He or she start a food business, create the menu. He or she have one assistant cooking, cashing, serving food. He or she will buy the stock, buy the produce, do all of that. At the ending of that evening or that night, that individual will be so exhausted. He or she don't have the time to put that money onto their bank account.
Or in notebooks.
You get me? So if they don't pass that money through a bank account, you know what's gonna happen? You can't get the financing. So a lot of young entrepreneurs have the business certificate, have all of the other things, but what they're not doing is channeling that money through a business account to make the process easy. So then if we start to teach entrepreneurship on the next level, as a principle of business is good, but we need professionals that started from ground up to go into the secondary schools, and then we have an actual syllabus on entrepreneurship that involves banking, because the government can't provide funding for entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs. Let us be real.
Everybody become entrepreneur tomorrow.
You get me? But entrepreneurs still also have to have the basic knowledge. Don't wait till you then done school, then to say, you know what, employment is not for me. I feel I want to be an entrepreneur. Let us build on that from young. Because the best minds to build on that is young minds. And then once you could then teach these young people the correct way in being an entrepreneur, when you start your food business, you buy your PSVs, you got taxis, you anything you decide to do, you're selling juices, you're selling coconut water, you will then understand the importance of every evening, when you don't do your check and balance, deposit that money onto the account, and then get a checkbook that when you do your purchases, you write your check, you keep your receipts. You get me? And then, teach charity in schools. Because as an entrepreneur, based on how you register the business, you can then apply for, talk to me lawyer. You can apply for. So let's be real. No. What big companies do, they file taxes at the end of the year.
And then they get like a which they say, I won't call it a concession, but you can basically
Everything that you use for your business, you file.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs need to understand that. So when you go get a cell phone to manage your business, you collect the receipt and you file for that at the end of the year. You got to put gas in the vehicle to move from point A to point B. You file for that. So we need to teach these things in schools to give young entrepreneurs better understanding how to be successful when that time comes to swim.
So you get that tax. So it takes all the tax rebate.
Tax
You
rebate.
get that, and you get back that tax rebate, right? I thought it was leading into policy, right?
No, because if the big companies could donate $10,000 to Salvation Army, this charity, that charity, the next charity, why black entrepreneurs can't do the same, can't understand the process of that.
Some of them aren't taught. That's a fact.
And this before you go on, right? And this is not me in any way knocking someone who might not be literate and stuff like that, right? But I think biggest would have mentioned the free courses and so forth, and going in there and researching and doing your reading and so forth. And then he mentioned that if you can put up WhatsApp status and so forth, you should be in a position to read the courses and so forth. But let us be honest again, not knocking anyone and not making motion about it and having a laugh. But if you look at somebody WhatsApp status, the subject and verb agreement, is all out of whack. So you can tell that the level of competency is lacking.
All right, you want to counter argument to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, the level up, illiteracy and all of that. What age you would think is the minimal age that you should learn to read and write?
Minimal age.
Yeah, like the minimal age. What's the youngest you think that a person should be able to read and write?
You mean proper reading?
Proper
You
reading.
gotta say 11.
Reading, comprehending.
I would
11
say-
plus, man.
11 plus,
Yeah,
right?
11, man.
Good.
I would say 11,
See that thing named AI?
Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Mm-hmm.
Explain it to me like I'm 12.
Ah.
Simple things. You ever download
Prompt.
something and
Yeah.
the terms of use? You ever read the terms of use?
Mm-hmm.
You ever read your entire terms
Not
of use?
all.
Good.
Never.
But there's enough. The lawyer here, there's enough legal
I
jargon.
know.
Copy, put in AI, explain it to me like I'm 12. Furthermore,
Ah.
explain it to me like I'm 6. Basic. People need to start using tech to their advantage instead of just using it for convenience. Convenience school, everybody like convenience. There's too much advantage in technology now that we, as a country, sleeping. But Barbados always behind. And it's time that we step up because it ain't like we ain't smart.
And I'm glad I made the disclaimer before. This wasn't me knocking someone who is illiterate, or this
No,
is
of course
me
not.
giving an excuse
Mm-hmm.
as to why you should not do your research and so forth. No excuse, but obviously the tech man here would have, communicated.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things I don't understand.
How you can do certain things, But
Yeah.
again, no excuse. No excuse for someone not doing their research. Not me knocking anyone, unfortunately, who is illiterate. I want to make that extremely clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I got 2 points I want to make. One, it's okay for persons in certain areas to do research. However, real life situation in Barbados today, persons don't have access to Wi-Fi and don't have access to smartphones. So what will happen to that person or those persons? Those persons going to be left behind. That's one. Two, cost of living is extremely high. When a single mother have to pay $350 a week in rent, she's making $420 per week, which is minimum wage, which is 1050 multiplied by 40 hours, $420 a week. At $550 going to $350 going to rent. How is she gonna feed that 8-year-old boy or girl? Gotta use corn curls. So then how that child will be able to focus in school?
So all right, so let's build on what you said and ask the question: how can the youth then know shape policy, community, and leadership in Barbados in regards to addressing these issues, cost of living, crime, I guess lack of job opportunities? How do we shape this policy as young people? How do we?
Look, as opposed to the government taking all that money to invest in foreign investors, the diversification bill, garbage, as opposed to doing that, right? We need to implement a breakfast program. A breakfast program. Mr. Thorne spoke about a breakfast program. We spoke about a breakfast program. You get me? Mr. Thorne also spoke about it in Parliament today as a relation to lunch program. You get me? So a breakfast program is important because it would ease the financial burden on parents. Back to school is the most expensive time in this country. You know why? Primary school pay approximately like $700 just to get books. Every single textbook families have to pay for. A lot of children going back to school with not all of the textbooks, don't have all of the textbooks. So how these parents feeding these children? I visited many primary schools this year, and you know what principal, teachers, guidance counselors, different persons said? That, you know what? A lot of the children come to school hungry. A lot of the children come to school with a buster, a dollar buster, red, orange, banana. So you think that happen? These young boys cannot focus. Young girls can't focus. I was in the polyclinic 2 weeks ago, and I saw a 6-year-old girl eating a pack of corn curls and drinking the buster. I know the only thing that I said, this mother had to be in a serious financial struggle. That the only thing she could give is a pack of corn curls for like $1.50 and a dollar buster. So how can this little baby 6-year-old girl function or be focused on reading when you got the spike in the sugar? The spike. We have that. These children can't focus and can't settle.
Those are add to the development of the children in a negative way too, to be quite honest. But I want to touch on what you said there, Fanus, right? Yeah. Two things, right? Two things that young people have to do to get involved when it comes to the politics. Is one, young people have to get into parliament. That's the number one thing. And then two, this is equally important, is to make certain that we listen to the cries of young individuals and that we actually craft policies and alter policies that are already existing to accommodate. Because it's we that know how to relate. It is we that know the struggle. It is we that the people, young individuals, and feel more comfortable coming and crying too. So this is what needs to be done. And I mean, the Democrat Party right now is currently doing so. We have the young Democrats and we have the young candidates. Look at Dale, look at Ramon, look at myself, and more probably on the right as well. So the solution is to actually implement the young people's voices, and that's why we are here to be the voice for the voiceless.
Seats are moving. Seats are moving. Yeah, a staggering figure here, but 50% of the electorate is between the ages of 18 and 35.
Not to say all. Not to say all.
That's a big number, right? Huge number.
But you know what's funny? I actually want to hear Biggest, because Biggest is a little bit new to the show. I would like to hear what Biggest think that the young people could do, where it's politics concerned, and how to help alleviate the economic stress and so on.
Where is it that you're asking me directly?
In other words, what role do you think the young people actually play when it comes to all of this? How we can help as young people?
Get active, be involved, because I can be real. I do not focus on politics here or there for me, because this always thinking, I know that this thinking ain't exactly what it's supposed to be or the right thinking. But my vote, if I vote or not, the changes don't happen to me. But as of recently, somebody explained to me, even if you vote and it don't change what you like, there's a situation where your vote could be the defining factor, the tilt for the scale. So that will make me start at least paying attention. What people need to do to involve young people is relate to them. Young people of today, attention spans very short. You can't just bombard them with information and shove things at the wall and hope they stick. You also got to find things that they can relate to. Music, pop culture, movies, theater, comics, whatever. Every young children like this. Things that young children like, as simple as it is. And if you could see that in politicians, chances are the young people can be, alright, I'm gonna listen to you have to say. If I only block all evening, and you come in your suit and your tie, driving your big Jeep, to come and tell me, vote for me, I want change. Alright? But then I don't see you the next 2 months. Election, the next 4 months, if I don't see you for the next 4 months. and I see you the election thing, you already
You never
tell
help.
me I never see you.
You never help the people nothing.
Like, they got other ways. There are other ways. They got programs. They got young people like partying. Do events. Even gonna be a party. Just do events to get up to let them see that you have their interests at heart. Because that's all we want. To be honest, that's all we need. To know that if I tell you, yeah, all you want work, you might not be able to give me a job tomorrow, but show me the way I can stop being home and go and work, or at least stop being home and put my foot in the door. You don't necessarily got give me the job, but show me the path. Open a door, give an opportunity. Them is things young people just want to hear or want to see happening. Want to touch all the things: grants, loans, ideas, steps, information. Because as easy as the information out there, and I preach this all the time, it is out there. But a lot of people don't know it out there. If you don't know how it could, simple things like, let me say GIS. That's really most information in Barbados is good. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you right.
Good. Every day, GIS should be sending a broadcast about something happening in Barbados.
I love
You
that.
see, in America, if a child get kidnapped, everybody's phone has got Amber Alert. Everybody. If a child go missing at 8 o'clock, 8:05, everybody's phone in country is gonna alert with a what have you done for your phone gonna stop and that alert gonna come across?
Wow.
Saying, yeah, little Kimmy hasn't been found. Picture, information. Ain't hard to let GIS. It ain't gonna be that drastic.
Yeah.
Guess I know for sure the generation and the younger generation under me. Man, like, you know what GIS is?
That's a possibility too.
Because let me be real, GIS used to advertise on CBC. How old is?
26.
How many last name on CBC?
If I be honest with you, I don't watch it as frequent as I used to when I was younger. But every now and then for the news. Every now and then.
Right, so you want me to ask you when the last time on CBC?
Of course.
COVID.
I was not expecting
And that was the only to hear what was going on in the country.
Yeah, what days I come outside.
Yeah, and what days that I could come outside. How
Yeah.
fast I could get outside. If I could get outside.
That's
Yeah.
when I used to watch it.
Exactly.
You would love that tech.
You see how, alright, you see the police doing this thing, wanted Mondays. See how easy that is to create a page. Everybody know is be in tune to wanted Mondays. See if we my neighbor on wanted Mondays. It ain't hard for JS to do that, to get information over there. Here, alright, good morning, be agents, such and such. Here, boom. Good morning, be agents. This is as simple as rainwater authority come to do work in your neighbor you want off. I live in St. George. The water be off every other month. You know when they get to turning point.
Oh boy.
And then obviously my neighbor or somebody posts, yeah, water authority doing work in some adjacent neighborhood and it affecting the misbroadcast it, but when and how. And if you just post it on your website or whatever, you telling me that you got to go to your website, remember?
Correct.
Well, you can't just let me know.
That's well said, though, biggest.
The same way how flow is saying, you know what, everybody that not flow could testify to this. Your flow bill is ready for review. Easy. Water authority can do the same thing.
It is.
Ain't hard. Ain't hard for algorithm to build. So you just send a text to my phone and say, yeah, hi, Mr. Allman, boom. In your district, so just hours we be doing some work. Information, just get this is what young people want. Information, because a lot of it in the dark. And then politics is come, parliament is happening. Like, you don't watch parliament. So that's really information is me. I don't watch parliament because
I still gotta hear you admit that.
I do not watch parliament. My father used to watch parliament. You know, he used to leave because he don't want to hear that.
But no, you put a strong point there. When you say that you don't want to hear that, what's the reason?
It's just some like show thing. And them be using words that ain't relatable.
The jargon.
Yeah. Like if you sit down and I just call it politics talk. When politicians talking, it'd be a lot of big words. Are you smart? I know really big words me.
Correct.
But Joe public ain't know really big words.
Everybody can't really understand.
Yeah, exactly. You're using terms that the babies understand. One, the youngsters understand. Two, Parliament it'd be whole day, 2 day, 3 day.
Yeah, long.
Young people don't even want to watch a 5-minute ad.
It's true.
I tell you the same thing. I ain't tell you this. And you bring out the ad that 4 minutes and 22 seconds is too long for young people to reach. Cause I'm not gonna sit down and this is me and I older. It's enough for 4 minutes.
So was your ideal point then? In other words, like
So,
if Ramon had to send a message, yeah,
45 seconds.
wow.
Get your point and get across.
See,
Why he making sports? Seats are moving,
See?
man.
So small, so easy that is. So easy that was.
yeah,
Good.
Now, I would love to see the tech where, you know, an Amber Alert is sent and so forth. To
We
different-
definitely need that.
But, you know, you have to creep before you walk. We are unable, unfortunately, to get at least the ID cards up and running, you know. So that is a challenge there. But it'll be fantastic in terms of the tech.
yeah, most definitely.
Yes, that's correct. What I would say to the young people, though, I would say that we should keep a lot of noise. You know, when something is not right, when something is not just, keep a lot of noise. I once had the view, you know, all of them is the same, this and that, in terms of work. But then I did my research. You know, I know the philosophy of the Democratic Party is different. It is for the ordinary Barbadian. You know, that is who it caters for, caters to.
Correct.
You know, so we are two different parties. If you look at all the bills that would have been put forward to the House, you know, it caters foreign entities. Again, I'm not xenophobic, but
No, we
to the
understand there's a
foreign
capitalist
people.
ideology that's at play.
Of course, and you know, we talk about trickle down economics, and again, that does not work in a developing nation. It does not. The guy at the top, all the water will be settled at where the guy at the top is.
And he would decide how much drips come down.
There we go. You know, and sometimes, you know, it's barren down
And
there.
who get what drips too.
farming. It's farming, you know. And it's desert. It's a desert down there. So that
Oh
is
no.
correct.
And to piggyback on what you asked me,
Yeah,
another
sure.
thing that young people need from politicians,
Mhm.
consistency.
Mm.
If I see you this week, let me see you next week. Let me see you at least once a month. I know that the constituency big. Let me see you. Let me know that you representing me. Because I know for sure, if I ask 10 young people now, who's your representative? Can't see.
And
Until
it's answer the thing that's been
election
doing.
time come.
Correct.
Because it either be on your door or the closest light post.
You know, you actually hear that this evening, so
Alright.
here. You know, that's something that people missing, especially younger individuals, because it wasn't one of you that mentioned that you don't really pay attention
I
to
don't.
Parliament.
You know when it was heavy into pay attention to politics? Man, Hamilton last year was my representative.
Oh,
'Cause
whoa.
I used to see him. That show you how far back. If I go to something in the constituency, I would see him. If they got a gathering in the neighborhood, you will see him. You might not be able to talk to him because everybody don't want.
You know, that was
But that's the thing, you don't need to have a conversation with everybody. We got community leaders. Come to have a conversation with them. Let them tell you what the problems in the neighborhood is. But you don't see your representative. You don't know who you just don't know. And ain't like the young people don't want to know because everybody got complaints. When you was young, you used to complain to teachers because that was really complex to start. You need to know who you could complain to,
Yeah.
who you could ask, what you need to do, how I can get myself help. Because it ain't that, I hear when people say young people lazy. You're not them lazy. They just don't know what to do. And if you know what to do, if you had a structure, yeah, you want to be an entrepreneur, bum, this is what to do. Here are the first 10 steps you need.
Support
Easy.
system.
Yeah. And it can't really happen home because, let me be real, mommy and daddy working hard. I can be real. I used to only see my father Saturday, Sunday because by the time I get to the school, he done left home.
Fine.
By the time he come home, I either run about, in my butt doing homework, and the cycle continue. Or, well, at that age it wasn't.
You talking about young Ramon?
Young. Hardly. I see my father only on weekends. The most.
Yeah.
It hard. Single parent households gotta be even harder. So it can't just be parent thing, because the most time a child is spent is at school. Hard or soft. 8 hours a day.
You know,
Because the next time sleeping.
you believe this is a young man that said he didn't know much about politics. He don't follow politics.
So you don't.
You know,
I'll be
this is
honest
young
with
man.
you.
It's amazing.
Ramon, he
you know?
fooled me.
Pardon?
He would have fooled me.
Of course.
He would have fooled me.
You know.
And the reason is because this is why we also need young people, more young people, I should say, involved
Of
in
course.
politics. The sort of reasoning that was
Yeah.
just displayed is only more evidence to the reason why we should include as many young people, as many young voices, as many young individuals as possible.
And the reality of it is, this is a panel discussion, and we will not agree on everything, and this is what is needed, a robust discussion.
But that's
There-
that's
of course,
democracy right there.
Of course, there are many times, the biggest that we love, no pause, and he interrupted. He said, "No, look at this point of view. This is what is needed, gentlemen.
100%.
We can't, all of us can't just say yes, Damien, yes,
No way.
Jamal,
No way.
yes."
We all will have
That's the Barbados level party.
Well, there we go.
Yes.
That is the Barbados level
But
party.
this is what is needed. Robust discussion.
Because at some
robust
point,
debate.
somebody will have a difference of opinion,
course,
and
course.
that difference should be valued.
Of course. And as he mentioned, not a part of any party. But he knows what.
I just
service is
want
about.
the better for the country.
That's
So
the way
whatever
it's
party showing me that they got the best of the country at the
interest.
forefront, cool, get my axe. I ain't want the gaff and the fluff. Show me actions. It's always the point in theory look good, but theory at school is only give somebody grade.
Yeah,
You
40%.
gotta do practical. Show me. Show me. Cause right now, I can speak from a creative point of view, just not only as a DJ. As a man that's managed social media pages abroad and here. Build content for people, all sorts of things. Content creators here cannot monetize their accounts. It'd be hard. YouTube, IG, people that got tens of thousands of followers can't make a cent. Then bring it overseas, it's 6,000, making money. It's impossible.
It is true. And not only that, it's going to kind of demotivate the younger Barbadian entrepreneurs, because we connect creators want to make sure we get a piece of the pie too, man. So this is Jamaicans that just off the coast could get that little change. Where we can't get that little change.
Yeah, and a lot of Bajans are very creative and in tune to. Cause alright, let me use. I call them a company that's selling biscuits. You can't just come and tell me you got biscuits, or you can't just come and say you got cherry flavor biscuits. Bajans might not like cherries.
True.
You gotta be in tune.
Yeah.
You can't just come and sell at shop and say, yeah, biscuits. Is everybody that got a conglomerate or a franchise, different things they sell. KFC, they sell different things in Barbados than they do in Japan.
All the time.
So it gotta be a case where you gotta be in tune. And you can't be in tune if you hire Brittany to represent Barbados. Or Sabrina or Esquire. When Kevin off the block knows exactly what he and his friends like.
Correct.
And probably what the whole neighborhood like.
Yeah.
Got the amount of followers and the influence. But
That's sad.
and nothing happening for you. Every day he making content. Every day he doing videos. Investing in content creating. Equipment expensive. Cameras expensive. Lighting expensive. Laptop, Final Cut expensive.
Yeah. Softwares.
So biggest, you're telling me that I can't put my fantastic chanting skills to use and be paid for it? Because that's what you're saying? That is unacceptable.
How-
We can talk. We can talk.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
You can chat.
That's what he was trying to not
I got
answer.
you covered, Dawn.
He was trying really hard.
Let me just.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was-
Ramon,
La- la-
I think Ramon said chatting skills.
No, let me tell
Chatting
you something.
Ramon.
Listen, let me be clear. All right? He knows my skills, and we will talk about that
Ramon,
in private.
Biggest just made a statement. He wants to see some action.
Oh.
So we want to see some action.
Give me,
Not two bars.
give me best 8 right now. 8 bar 16. Give me best 16 right now.
Rap St. Andrew now, no?
Rap
St. Andrew.
We will talk about that off.
I already know that the running with St. Andrews is real hard too.
Rap St. Andrew, buddy.
It's okay.
Man, it ain't gonna be hard. It ain't gonna be hard.
Actually, time is.
You want to the St. Andrew constituency. I truly love you unconditionally. Boom bang, man. Connect. Oh, you like that one? Let's say we can use studio. We can use studio. We don't mind this here. We can use studio. We are making that source. And that
Cause
was
right,
top.
he sing it,
That was
and
not
your
the
man said, "Bro, he is your friend."
Cheerleader.
He has to be ill with you see that sort of gas?
What's the color? Rubik's, man.
Cause there's no way he hear them 2 lines and he's that boring.
Big shoes.
You might get what you see to you.
When you hear it, I was like, ooh, bars.
I'm gonna let you know, no, there is no studio in their right mind.
We get top of that.
Then again, if you got money, you could do it. Trust me.
Gentlemen, I'm going to rein you all in here because really and truly, I allowed you free reign tonight, and you all made my job very, very, very easy tonight. Very much so, because it is heartwarming and it is refreshing to see young men who can have a conversation. Don't agree sometimes, might agree, build on a point that even support a point that might have changed their way of thinking, right? But it was wonderful hosting guys tonight because I didn't have anything to do. Really and truly. And those are the best nights when the host could just sit down and just allow the people to just authentically deliver their points to the people. And we're going to remind everyone about your Christmas event deal.
Yes.
You want to say
Check it away.
about that?
All right, the Christmas toy drive. This is the second year that we will be doing it. We have Soul Addiction on board. We have Larry Dash on board. Saul Warrens on board. And we also have Tashin Variety. So tomorrow, all of the bins will be in place. So you can go over, buy a $5 gift, a $10 gift, or even a $100 gift. Put it in the box provided. So every time that you purchase a toy, you drop it into the box, you will also be required to fill out an application form. So the giving is not only for the children. The persons that also give will receive the opportunity to get a breakfast for 2, and then one other lucky winner will also get a staycation for 2. So when you buy your gift, drop it into the box, fill out the little raffle form, drop it in, and the draw we will pull that the same day we give out the toys. So we're gonna collect all of the entry forms from the different locations. So the day of the distribution, we will then pull those 2 lucky winners. So people, Larry Dash, Bay Street, you can head there tomorrow, donate a toy. Soul Addiction, Saul Warrens, Tashin Variety on Magazine Lane. Christmas afternoon, we will do the distribution of the toys. So more information as it relates to that. So this is just the first step. So this coming to 2-fold. Because we have the toy drive started with the Democratic Labour Party. I saw the Barbados Labour Party running around doing the similar thing under the youth empowerment something. I am grateful that they decide to actually do something positive. So I encourage persons to support that. Also support us, because our initiative is that came from the heart. That idea came from in 2021 during COVID. I was like, I would love to do a parade going through Carlton Village. But then it didn't happen in Carlton Village. It happened in the city of Bridgetown last year. Christmas morning, we had Mother Sally, Top Band, roller skaters, all of the characters. Ramon was fantastic, We had Felicia Dujon, we had David.
Jade.
Pardon?
I DJ'd at the event. You don't tell me.
You DJ?
I DJ'd at the event. You didn't.
At the Christmas drive? I thought you drove.
It was a tearjerker for me. To see to see the young people, with the gifts and so forth.
I got a question about this toy drive.
Unfortunate people,
How do you determine who get the toys? There's people that's coming that need toys, and the second part of that question, because they've got greedy people.
Correct.
There are a lot of people that got and still want it free.
So I love that question. Very, very, very good question. So based on my data collection last year, September into December, I would have identified areas that needed some assistance. So that's why Christmas, when we started by Pizza Man Dot, we moved from Pizza Man Dot through the Orleans, Kensington New Road, Lightfoot Lane, Sobers Lane, Greenfield, then we end off in Nelson Street. So those areas were strategically handpicked. So this year now, our target is 500 toys. So I have the city broken down into 5 different groups. So once we collect those 500 toys, we will allocate 100 toys to Bayland and Dunlolian. We're going to allocate another 100 toys to the Nelson Street area, Spice Street, London Bourne Towers. Then we're going to donate another 100 to Orleans, Chapman Lane. And then we're going to do the other like that. So you have Greenfield that is going to get theirs, Lightfoot Lane, Chapman Lane, Orleans. So we're going to spread all 500 toys. So we have an idea of the children that need toys. So we're going to send an invitation. And so basically biggest put me on the spot. So I can't have that. Because Christmas we're not going to do the toy drive. We're going to do a big Christmas party. So we're going to send the invitations. The person's going to come to us, and we're going to have a production.
I can show you some bill tonight. I can show you some bill right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our program. Thank you very much for joining us, you and the avoided diaspora. Like I said earlier, thank you again for your kind comments. I hear you, and I appreciate you, and I will continue to serve you. These gentlemen will continue to serve you. Biggest, maximum respect.
Yeah, thanks. I had a good time. So
Ramon, thank you for coming out. Dale, thank you for coming out. Jamal, thank you especially for coming out.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a
It's
pleasure.
DJ Ramon.
Oh, sorry.
DJ Ramon.
Sorry, DJ
DJ,
Ramon.
actually, DJ Goody.
DJ
DJ Goody. Just
We'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll work
I want you to know that Goody coward.
Yeah, Goody.
Yeah, we will work on that.
Yeah, let the gas station help you.
I thought about that.
We'll work on
that.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
So to the viewers, thank you very much. DLP TV, yellow is the code. We following Mr. Ralph Thorne in his next election. Young people come out and vote. Your vote matter. So let us see Barbados in a way that, we need to evoke that Errol Barrow spirit. We have to teach people how to fish as opposed to having people dependent on the Barbados Labour Party. Seats are moving. Yellow is the code. Check me out.
Seats are moving.
Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And as the gentleman said, seats are moving. And from DJ Wax Cranium, yes. Wow, seats are moving.
Seats are moving, one DLP. Seats are moving, seats are moving, seats are moving, seats are moving, one DLP. Seats are moving, seats are moving. Yellow is the code, determination the mode. Young them's rise up, we carrying the load. Future in we hands, Barbados we see. Seats are moving, jump on the DLP. Seats are moving, yeah we push the bus. One DLP, moving on with us. Together Silence. Hear me now. If I, Errol Barrow could talk today, I got something to say. Why? Raise your flag, but open your eyes. If I, Errol Barrow, had to speak today, what I see would break my heart away. Nothing changed, just a mirror frame, same corruption, just a brand new name. My people, I'm sad to say, you reaping all you sow today. The pride and industry fade away, and now we fighting to find we way. Life at two extremes, I tell you so. Hope and hunger, high and low. Poverty mixing with champagne flow, but poor man still can't grow. Suffering and celebrating, starving while them still partaking. Nations rise, time to break that spell. Stop showing contempt for yourself. Say you can't change when thieves lead the way. Corruption sweet when give us pay, and government take what poor man lay. Taxation high like mountain peak, while schools and roads still spring a leak. Them flying high, them living sleek, but poor man vice still 2 weeks. So tell me now, who you blaming? Who make the system shaming? Them raise the dead, destroy the cane. No migration needs the pain. You build leaders like the clay, and now me a playing God today. Talking sweet but turn away from the people who make she laugh, she bend and smile she wear like she care, but she can't share. You think she love, you think she fair, or she trying to run you from here? Errol watching from up above. Budgeons where the unity and love we used to build, we used to fight. Now we just beg and say alright. Let we rise again, take back pride, build Barbados from inside. And I, Errol, gone back to sleep again. Errol, but I pray next time I wake, my people go rise, rise, I say. Them sharks still alive. Right. Boy, you sell it. Boy, you sell it. Them sharks still alive. We just need to revive. Bim Shah still alive. We just need to revive.